Hi everyone, this is Kyle with kayDbait. I wanted to make a very serious video today about a topic that I think is getting completely out of control. It's something in our society, the United States mostly, that has gotten so bad that I cannot understand, and I am actively seeking a solution to, because it is something that personally hurts me more than almost anything else. And that's the culture we have of outrage and the response we give to things that we don't understand. And the reason it bothers me so much is that it's every single day, and I've mentioned it in almost all of my videos, is it's this misinformation that we spread, it's this lack of understanding that we just don't care about learning something before we respond to it, so that we make it worse. And I need to express this properly. I need to explain this in a way that people can understand. When you have a situation, or like you read an article about something, or you hear somebody talking about something and you know nothing about it, but you respond anyway, whether it be through anger or hate or disagreement, but you actually don't know what you're talking about, and all you're doing is vomiting onto people that you dislike. Disagreement is not the grounds for dismissal. It is not the grounds for anger. What disagreement is it's a talking point. It is a point of discussion. I disagree with you because my value system is different than yours. That is not meaning they are less than you. It does not mean their position is less topical or less reasonable or less correct. When somebody disagrees with you or you disagree with them, you can both have all of the same information. It does not mean they're ignorant. It does not mean they are wrong or that they lack the understanding that you have. You can be the one that is wrong. Disagreement, and maybe neither of you are wrong, or maybe both of you are wrong. This is the issue people have, that I have learned over the course of a very long time of trying to understand this. People who disagree with somebody else, normally they have a natural tendency to be pushed towards the idea that the other person doesn't know what they're talking about. If you just inform them of why they are wrong, they will be... It's the argument of... And I'm sure most of you have seen it. I'm sure almost everyone has seen it. If you just understood my side, you would agree with me. That mentality. If you just understood it, you would have agreed with me. If you understood X, most of the time it's used with a religious context or a political context. Those are the two main ones. If you just understood why these people are idiots, you would agree with me. Or if you just understood why X is the one true God, you would agree with me. That's not how it works. What you are doing is pushing that the other person is ignorant, or if the other person is stupider than you. That's what you're doing in your little bubble of reality that you have created that is not true. So when I see this online, and I see it every single day in mass, it's not small, it's not isolated in any way. It is the norm online and even in person, because I talk to people in person. What people do is they look down on those that disagree with them. They insult them, or they demean them, or they dehumanize them, so that they don't have to listen to them because they are less than. And that is so horrendous. It is so wrong, so beneath what we should be. We are dehumanizing other people, or threatening, or harming in some, or trying to harm in some way other people because we disagree with them. That is the basis of almost all of our problems as humans. That is the most core belief, that people that are different should be treated less than what a human deserves. And it might be a little thing for some people. It might just be this, I disagree with them, so I'm just not going to invite them to places, or I'm not going to hang out with them. those kinds of things are more a personal choice, because you want to avoid people that harm you. You want to avoid people that, make it so your life is less happy or less productive. You don't want a controversial person in the workforce, so they get transferred or whatever. Those are smaller things that they should still be addressed. But the larger ones are, you've seen them. If you read comment strings anywhere ever on anything, even remotely controversial, look at Tumblr, which is the most controversial place. Death threats. Dehumanizing comments of you're stupid, you should go kill yourself, you should go get a lobotomy, you should go where have you been? You've been under a rock your entire life. Your parents shouldn't have never been married. Things like that. Comments that just, they don't mean anything. They're just you vomiting onto people. And the reason I use the term vomit, and I think the way I use it, I think, is very correct, is you're not digesting things. You're not internalizing or understanding what you're doing. You find something, and you take a little nibble of whatever you're reading, and then you just projectile vomit it as far as you can to get as many people as you can, and then it hits everybody else, and they get some in their mouth, so they start vomiting everywhere, because it's just so irritating or aggravating, or it's an incendiary thing that you're doing, is you're trying to get a reaction. So you vomit this horrible stuff onto people, and whether they agree with it or not, it's going to make them sick inside. It's a sickness, this reactionary thing that we have, and it's promoted by people that are doing it on purpose. The people that start these things, the people that want something from it, so they start it. Is that I don't like X, so I'm going to spread this misinformation about X, or this unclear concept that I'm putting a spin on, or this fact, air quotes, fact, that's not actually true. I've seen one of those, a major one yesterday for gun control. 130,000 people are killed in Britain. It specifically said Britain in the year 2013 by knives. So gun control, they have gun control there, so maybe we should bring guns back to keep people from being stabbed by knives. That is I went to the website that came from. They said 26,000 total. There was a small, it was like 26,556 or something like that. It's a big number. That is a big number for knife violence. But that was all knife violence in 2013. I think they were getting the number from either the UK or a larger group of people. Also, it was a survey website, so it wasn't actually the actual number, so I don't know where they got the number from. But the number was wrong. Knife violence is not associated with gun violence, so that was also misleading. And you can have a real argument. You can have a real comment about this, about a discussion about gun violence, knife violence, violence in general, rape, dehumanizing other people through cultural laws, like laws that say one person can do something but other people can't do certain things. There's a lot of those with women in other countries where they're usually within business or within the government. But Islamic states have a lot of laws that women must do certain things or act a certain way, otherwise there is a punishment. So just because something is lawful doesn't necessarily mean that it is moral, and just because something is moral doesn't mean that it's going to be lawful. So we have to have a discussion about it, but also there's cultural differences, and there is a discussion on that, because a lot of people in other countries, I disagree with their practices because I don't find them moral, but then I can't also say that they're wrong because it is a cultural difference. I am not the authority on that. So I cannot make a comment about somebody's morals being wrong, but I can say that your arguments are wrong. I can say that your arguments are really bad, that you're not being factual, or you're not being fair, or you're not being reasonable, or you're not being coherent. You're not staying on the context of the discussion. You're using these other things that aren't related to what we're saying as an argument for something. So I see these things that people are doing. They're spreading misinformation. They're threatening people into silence. They're They're actively seeking their own agendas instead of a discussion, but they're under the guise of having a discussion. So really all they're doing is promoting themselves and their ideas and the people around them who agree with them and nothing else. So they're really just creating this cancerous bubble that grows. And all it does is it hurts people. All it does is it makes the world a worse place for everybody. And all of you, every single person that does that is wrong. You see, you can believe you're right, and you could be having this moral, self-righteous, I don't even know, I know a couple of terms that are really derogatory to use towards this. You are vomiting into their mouth as they vomit into your mouth. And then it's just like this big rainbow of colors that you spread as the most beautiful message or the most moral message, but really it's all vomit, all of it. There is nothing pure or good about this. And it leaves a bad taste in your mouth when you see it. So that's why I hate it so much. There's every single day, every day since I started looking up everything. I read as many articles as I can. I talk to as many different people as I can. And I disagree with a lot of people. I disagree with the Pope on a lot of stuff too, even though I think he's a cool guy. So why do I do that? Because I'm not treating them as something less than human. I don't think that, okay, this is the reason for the video. This is the main reason. The Kim Davis meeting the Pope response. I made a video, I messed up the audio, I was really bad about that. My message in that video was, we don't know the context of the meeting, we don't know why it happened, we don't know what it meant, because meeting somebody does not condone every action they have ever taken in the past. We don't know what was said. We don't know who was there. We don't know anything about it. All we know is that this person said this, and then this person said that they were not going to disagree that it happened. They weren't going to say that it didn't happen. Immediate, unfiltered backlash from everyone. I hate the Pope now. He's a political player. He's the most snarky, backpedaling, evil, manipulative, all of these weird things that just started coming out from everybody. And I'm like, okay, you guys loved the Pope because he was a cool guy, because he was promoting the things you wanted him to promote. And then suddenly, because he met this person that you find to be a deplorable human, or whatever you think about her, so now he is, by association, the worst kind of person. So you are going to respond to it in the most deplorable way. One, it's hypocritical because you're just backtracking everywhere and not looking anything up and not understanding what you're saying because, I hate him now, even though he didn't do anything bad. Promoting somebody's goodwill, even when you disagree with them, is difficult to do. It is a humble thing. So him meeting with somebody you disagree with without knowing the context of the meeting or what it means, and then adding things to it so that you can be madder, or other people adding to it, and then you're not looking it up because you don't care enough to actually look it up, which is another hypocritical thing that I hate, is, I care about this thing enough to respond online, but I don't care enough to actually know what it is, which is a really problematic thing, and it is part of this. It is part of the reason why I hate it so much. There's so many reasons why I hate it. So, again, later, just a few days later, there was a response by the Vatican saying, well, yeah, he met her, but he also met like 11 or 12 other people at the same time, had no idea who she was, and actually met an old friend who happened to be gay. So we are not in any way condoning Kim Davis's response. And in fact, we are promoting goodwill towards everybody because we're meeting everybody that we want to meet in a respectable manner. So what the heck kind of outrage was there? What was the reason for the outrage? The outrage was misinformation, jumping to conclusions, random dogma or hate towards people, Kim Davis, the Pope, the Vatican, the establishment of religion, the hypocrisy of political players, all of it. We hate all of it, so we're just going to vomit into each other's mouths all day, every day, until we get what we want. Is that what you want? Is that why there's outrage? Is you want something, so you're just going to vomit on everybody until you get it? Is that how it works? Are you better than the people you hate? Are you somehow doing a right in the world, a moral act, by doing all of these horrible things. Does the end justify the means? Is that what you're doing? You are a bad person. You're doing a deplorable act in the name of your own agenda. You are spreading misinformation in the guise of discussion, in the guise of promoting something, when as a positive, when it's really your own. You don't care. You don't care enough to look it up. You don't care enough to build something. All you're doing is you grab something, you shove it into your face, vomit projectile everywhere. And I'm not doing that to be funny. I'm doing that because I honestly see it as the most putrid, vile, just pus and just bile and just acid just shooting from your face. And I hate it. I find it repulsive. I find it grotesque. I find it to be the worst kind of thing a person can do. And I don't want it to be part of our culture. I don't want it to be the thing that Americans or the thing that anyone does, because it's everywhere. It's online. People in other countries do it too. But it's endemic here. It is the norm here. It's in our media. It's in our political system. It's in our culture. It's in our people. And it shouldn't be, because that is one of the main problems with the entirety of our discussion system, the way we discuss things, the way we bring about information and present it, which is the way people learn. It's the way people get information, and it's broken. We treat people as less than us when we try to talk to them. That is our main focus, is there's something wrong with them, I must fix it. There is something that they don't understand that if they understood would agree with me. How many times have I said, I am not here to change your mind, I am here to inform you. I am here to tell you the facts. I am here to tell you what is true, and if I am wrong, to correct me so that I can understand. I am not here to push my own agenda. I have an agenda. It's for you to learn. But do I push it? You don't have to learn if you don't want to. I don't put clickbait everywhere so you see my videos. I don't promote it as this amazing thing. And you know what? I don't honestly mind if people don't listen to me. I don't mind if people don't see me. I do this as a form of practice, or a form of me bettering myself through dialogue or monologue in this case. I don't know, because very few people respond. But I want to talk to people. I want to understand people who are different than me and who have a different viewpoint than me, so I can understand things better. That's why I do this. Other people don't. They have this stupid idea that people must be informed so that they will agree with me. So they don't tell you all the information. They only tell you the stuff they agree with. They only tell you the stuff that they believe will make you do something for them, or you'll follow them, or you'll give them something. And I don't like that idea. I want people to understand things. I want people to know what's going on. And when I don't know what's going on, I look it up. And it sometimes takes a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time sometimes. I have other things to do. But I try, and I try to give it in a way that people can just, take it, little by little, or there's not a big thing going on that they don't understand, and I'm just, do this. I don't try that. I hate that too. There's so many things broken. There's so many things that are just wrong with this. So I'm gonna reiterate the beginning of this. There is a problem with our culture. There is a response that we have as a people that is the worst kind of response. Is we have judgmental, immediate gratification, no fact checking, you're not caring about it. You want to get offended by it, or you want to get outraged by it, but you don't care. You say you do, but you don't. You're a hypocrite. So when the next time information pops up on the internet that you disagree with, or you hate, or you click on it because, oh, this is going to get me outraged, that's what clickbait is. Think about it. Oh, this person shot up a thing, and now this person commented in a way I disagree with on it. Oh, I'm going to click on that article, and then I'm not even going to read half of it. I'm going to go into the comment section and start telling everyone to go die. And it's real, it happens, and it's terrible because people are stupid. And I'm not saying that they are less than me. I am saying that they have become a response and that's it. They have put themselves into this position where they don't want to learn, they don't want to understand anything. They just want their own immediate gratification of this self-righteous BS so that they can grab whatever they hate, vomit it onto other people so that they can hate, or that they can, just hate in general, whether it's for or against them, so that there's more of it. And then that's what I hate. That's what's stupid. If that person stopped doing that, when your behavior can be stupid, a person can be stupid, but generally that's a behavioral thing. It's not an intellectual thing. If you are just naturally, not as, intellectual, like if there's something wrong with your brain or your mind, that's completely different. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about anything like that. But when I talk about behavior and your behavior is stupid or people are stupid, that is what I mean. They are inherently just, maybe they're taught this way, or maybe they became this way because they spent too much time on Tumblr. I don't know. But they've become thin-skinned, they've become reactionary, and they don't have an internal system to digest and understand things anymore. They've lost it. They need to regain it. We need to teach so that people can learn. The people need to learn so they can understand, and they can understand so there could be a discussion. There needs to be a discussion. This is not a discussion. This is them trying to kill everyone, or at least wanting to kill everyone that disagrees with them. That is wrong. That is not a discussion. It is difficult to have a discussion with someone you disagree with, because most of the time they will be attacking you a lot. But you have to be the better person so that there can be a discussion. If they're not going to do it and you're not going to do it, there is not a discussion there. There is not going to be progression. It is going to be a regression, a dividing factor. I'm going to yell at you because I disagree with you. You're going to yell at me because I disagree with you. We're going to say things that just hurt each other. So guess what? We're not going to be friends. We're not going to believe the other side, and we're going to actively dismiss the other side more because, look, the other side's full of violent bigots or ignorant bigots. Because look what they said to me. They don't care what they said to them, but it's so stupid. I see it so often. Every single day. That's where my outrage is. My outrage is in the ignorant, in the actively ignorant, the actively bigoted, the actively violent, and it's not oppression in the word in that same form, but you're oppressing everyone that disagrees with you by seeing them as less than human. Less than you. You are up on your mountain or your horse or your high whatever, and they're down in the mud. They are less than you. They are not worth your time. They're not worth your thought process, which you probably don't even have because you're just being as ignorant as you possibly can. I have had discussions with people that were so one-sidedly bigoted that I was having really big problems just trying to talk to them, and they were just it was because I was a man. I couldn't talk to them. I was not allowed to have a point on it was abortion and marriage. And I because I was a man, I was not allowed to have any input on it whatsoever as a form of discussion. So they were sexist. They were a woman, but they were also siding with another guy, and he was just agreeing with her in every way. And so his opinion mattered because he was agreeing with her. And I was like, this is hypocritical. He agrees with you, so he has a voice. I wasn't even disagreeing with him. I was trying to have a discussion. But because I wasn't on their side, quotes, then I was unfit to have an opinion. I was unfit to be seen as a person. And that is majorly hypocritical. And that's why I was having so much problem. Because the person that was agreeing with them was my friend. And I didn't know who this other lady was. I was trying to have a discussion with her because he invited me to the discussion saying, hey, she has really strong opinions. Can you have, you like discussion, so talk with her. And then she was like, nope, he's a man. He's not going to be able to understand the plights of women. He's not going to be able to understand the pain that they go through and the cultural divide and this and this. Okay, those are talking points. We could talk about those. But have you heard of empathy? Have you heard of, reading up on things or understanding things? I knew more about the processes of abortion than she did. I knew more about the points of which it got political and when, the concept of life, the concept of early term and late term abortions. She knew nothing about it. She didn't know what she was talking about. So why was her point valid and mine was not? She wasn't discussing anything. She was trying to push her own agenda through ignorance. Because as long as you don't learn about it, you won't care about it. Because if you learn about it, you might become invested in it. And that is the stupidest reason not to learn something. Oh, I might care. Because you don't care. You say you do, but you don't. So stop being a hypocrite. Stop being an ignorant, just vomiter. That's what you are. And it's so hard. Everyone's done it. I've done it. Everyone has done it at some point because it's the easy way out. So the next time, and this is I tried saying this earlier. The next time you see something that makes you you want to react, and you feel it in your gut. You feel this bile rising, and you feel this need to reach your keyboard and respond to something. Stop. Just stop. Stop. Don't do it. Think about it. Look up the stuff that they said. If it's not true, respond to the fact that it's not true. If it's misleading, respond to the fact that it's misleading. If it's true, think about what that means. It is so important. You can disagree with their conclusions, but if what they're saying is true, what does that mean? They have a different value system than you. They have a different just way of looking at the world than you. They're not the same as you. Knowing the same thing does not mean they will agree with you. Knowing why somebody acted a certain way does not mean you would act the same way in the same situation. So think about that, okay? That's all I'm asking is think about, I'm asking you to behave a certain way because I honestly believe that it's the deplorable act of vomiting into other people's mouths. As a serious note, I'm not saying that as a joke. So yes, I'm asking for, but I'm asking for it as a contemplative kind of thing. I'm asking for it as a treat other people with respect. Whether you agree with them, disagree with them, whether you think they deserve their attention, your attention, it doesn't matter. They deserve some kind of just recognition is the wrong word. I'm trying to think of the right word. But it is, you look at their stuff, what they've said. You look at it, and recognition is the only word that's popping into my head. You look at it, you contemplate it. You give them the respect they deserve so that you can understand what they're saying and why they're saying it. It's difficult. It's very difficult, and they might not be giving you the time of day either. They might be actively vomiting on you the entire time, but you have to not vomit back. So that's what I'm saying. This whole video, it's about outrage. It's about stupidity. It's about ignorance to the extreme that our culture has fallen into, that we need to fix, that we need to stop doing that. So that's what it is. That's what it is. I know I'm repeating myself now. I'm trying to get more information out than I think I can in this short amount of time. So I made this huge list, there's stuff on this paper, of different topics and ideas that I'm going to be making videos on. I'm doing this seriously now. Before I was like, oh, this is a topic I thought of earlier. This is a topic I thought of earlier. I sat down for like 4-something hours and just started writing things onto paper and onto a computer later. And I'm going to start talking about all these serious things that really honestly need to be talked about that people are not talking about. Some people are. I'm not saying that nobody talks about it. So far as I just don't see it. It's just, if it's not being talked about on a larger scale, then it's not going to be part of the national discussion, the national dialogue, or the international dialogue, really. So I'm going to be bringing these things up, these topics up that are on this paper that I'm throwing around for no reason because I can't see my hands anyway. So that's it. I'm going to end this video. I'm going to find another topic, pick another topic, and I'm going to talk about that. And I really, really hope that people can stop being so reactionary and actually sit back and think about something. That's it. That is what this video is about. Sit down, think about it. That's it. How hard is that? It's not. It is so rare. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna end the video here, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was something. I don't even know. So that's it. Peace.